Tipping Point is a British television game show which began airing on ITV on July 2, 2012, and is presented by Ben Shephard. The show sees contestants answering general knowledge questions to win counters which they use on a large coin pusher arcade-style machine which releases the counters worth £50 each. This is double to £100 for the Lucky Stars version. In the games featuring contestants from the public, only the winner at the end takes home their accumulated money. The rest go home with nothing, unless they have won one of the special prizes which they get to keep no matter what. On June 18, 2015, it was announced that a deal had been signed to keep Tipping Point on air until 2017. Format: contestants must answer questions to win counters worth £50 each to drop into the coin pusher machine, dropping them into their choice of 4 drop zones and hoping to push piles of them off a pair of shelves. The upper one moving back and forth over the lower one, and onto a lower red zone. The more they collect, the greater the eventual prize fund. The player who has accumulated the least amount of money in each round is eliminated until only one player remains to play for the jackpot of £10,000. If any counters enter the win zone when not in play, they are declared null and void and are removed from the machine. They are called an ambient drop. However, mystery counters, as well as the double counters, will be put back into the machine if they drop in this manner. In Series 2, a new element was added: 3 mystery counters, colored black and bearing a question mark logo, are present in the machine at the start of the game. If one of these counters enters the win zone, the player in control of the machine wins the mystery prize. Such prizes have included cases of wine, short holiday breaks, etc. In Series 5, 2 counters marked X2 were added. When they enter the win zone, the value of all the tokens from that turn will be doubled. For instance, if 6 counters dropped in one turn, including a X2 counter, the player would earn £600. Round 1 equals, in round 1, the 4 players are each given 3 counters. Questions are then asked and the first to sound their buzzer may answer. If they answer correctly, they must choose either to play one of their own counters if they feel the machine will pay out, or, if they feel the machine won't pay out, may instead nominate an opponent, forcing them to use up one of their own counters. In either case, the relevant player chooses which of the 4 drop zones they want to drop a counter down and then presses their buzzer to release the counter into the machine. In the event of an incorrect answer, one of the player's counters goes into a penalty pot. At the end of the round, all the counters in the penalty pot are put up for grabs on a final question in the buzzer. If 2 players are tied for 3rd place, 3 players are tied for 2nd place, or all 4 players are tied for 1st place, a sudden death question is asked on the buzzer with no counters. If a player answers correctly, they move on to the next round, but if they answer incorrectly, they are eliminated. Round 2 equals, in round 2, whoever is in the lead of the 3 remaining players decides the order of play. In turn, each player is given 30 seconds of rapid-fire general knowledge questions, with each correct answer earning 1 counter. When the time is up, the players use their accumulated counters to try to win more money in the machine by moving counters over the tipping point, at the usual rate of £50 each. As before, if 2 players are tied for 2nd place or all 3 players are tied for 1st place, a sudden death question is asked. Round 3 equals, in round 3, the 2 remaining players are asked 6 questions alternately, 3 to each player. A player can opt to answer the question themselves or, if they feel they don't know the answer, can pass it to their opponent. A correct answer gives control of the counter to the player, while a wrong answer hands control to their opponent. Counters are still worth £50 each. Again, if both players are tied for 1st place, a sudden death question is asked. Final round equals, in the final round, the winning player is given a jackpot counter, which is dropped into the machine. The aim is to get the counter back out of the machine in order to win £10,000. The player is given 6 categories of questions. The player can answer the questions in any order and can nominate how many counters they wish to go for. A correct answer gives the player the number of counters they nominated, a wrong answer gives no counters. Any counters which drop in the process of trying to get the jackpot counter out are counted, worth £50 apiece. This includes ambient drops, which are no longer voided. If the player manages to remove the jackpot counter, their winnings are augmented to £10,000 regardless of the other counters dropping into the machine. However, the double counters are not included with the jackpot, so even if they drop at the same time, the jackpot counter is not doubled. Therefore, players are not able to win £20,000 if a double counter drops with the jackpot counter. If the player uses all 6 categories and fails to remove the jackpot counter, they can choose whether to keep the money they have accumulated or gamble on 3 more counters. In this instance, it would be for £10,000 or nothing, since any regular counters that fall into the win zone are worth nothing. It has been noted that the position of the jackpot counter at this point is a major factor to a player's decision in taking the trade, along with the positioning of other counters on the top shelf. A player is more likely to take the trade counters if the top shelf has many counters in a good position and the jackpot counter being close to the tipping point, than if the jackpot counter is further from the tipping point, with a fairly empty shelf. One contestant in Series 3 took the trade and won the £10,000 using only one counter. On April 1, 2014, a new record for the final round was set with only 5 counters inserted into the machine to retrieve the jackpot. On July 8, 2015, a contestant named Tony managed to win £10,000 using the first counter of the trade. However, according to the table below, the program had taken a break during this time. During Series 5, a contestant set a record by having the most amount of money in the bank without having won the jackpot counter. The contestant won £4,650. While the drop zones are supposed to be equal, regular viewers may have noticed a quirk with Drop Zone 4. The larger jackpot counter has a tendency to settle to the left side of the zone while the ordinary counters settle more frequently to the right. Transmissions equals regular series equals Lucky Stars series equals Tipping Point, Lucky Stars. A series of 12 episodes of Tipping Point, Lucky Stars aired on ITV, beginning on June 9, 2013 and was shown in the primetime slot, rather than the usual 4 p.m. daytime slot for the regular program. A second series aired in the summer of 2014. The celebrity episodes see some changes to the ordinary format. There are only 3 contestants rather than 4. Contestants are playing for a nominated charity. All of the counters are worth double their value. Normal and mystery counters doubled from £50 to £100, and the jackpot counter doubled from £10,000 to £20,000. Like celebrity versions of the chase, there is a live studio audience. In the final round, if the contestant takes the trade but loses, they still get £1,000 for their chosen charity. To compensate for the presence of only 3 contestants, the person in last place after round 1 continues to play into round 2. The losing contestant after rounds 2 and 3 still takes home the money they have accumulated for their chosen charity. Mystery counters now give smaller prizes, or occasionally give a mystery question about the player, giving him or her the chance to drop another counter into the machine. Merchandise. The official Tipping Point app for iOS was released by Barnstorm Games on March 30, 2014. The Android version was later released on April 3, 2014. An electronic board game based on the show was released in 2015 by John Adams under its Ideal Games brand. References. External links: Tipping Point on Twitter, tippingpoint@igameshows.com.